Hey everybody, this is Gavin at SmartPad Property Management. Today we're going to be talking about our tenant screening report, and I'm going to be taking you through a brief summary of what a bad report looks like and what a good report looks like. Neither of these are real people, they're fake of course, but I just want to give you, the owners, a little bit of kind of insight into the kinds of information that is available to us as the property managers as we are deciding whether or not this particular applicant is going to be a good tenant or a bad tenant. It's important to note that we don't make these reports available to our owners, though we do talk with our owners about kind of marginal applications if they are borderline applications. So I'm not going to go into every single little detail here, but I'm going to kind of take you through a brief summary of what is included in these reports. So what we're looking at here is Mr. John Appfolio. This is a example of a bad tenant or a bad applicant. And what it shows us here is, that it is a verified person, their name, date of birth, social security number, etc. All are verified. They all work together. They jive. Then it goes into their credit summary, shows us their negative trade lines, how many delinquencies they've had over the last 2 years, what the amounts of those negative trade lines are. From there, it goes into their rent payment summary. And this is if other landlords have been reporting their rental history to Experian Rent Bureau. For this particular person, it shows that they have 4 potentially negative items. It then tells us who those creditors were, when it happened, what the status was, and then the total amount outstanding. And importantly, it tells us when those things occurred over the last 2 years. So it shows us that this particular person had 14 on-time payments, 2 delinquents, and 2 write-offs. And then it goes into their eviction history. Mr. John Appfolio has 2 evictions in their record. From there, it goes into criminal history, telling us they have 5 or more reported events, when they happened, what the offense was, what the location is, and what the disposition is, were they convicted, etc. So the information above here is the summaries. Below that, then, it starts going into all of the details of the specific information that was reported. So it gives us more information. And I'm not going to go into all that information with you. I mean, you can get as detailed as seeing what months that they actually made good or bad payment on each of their trade lines, etc. So for someone like this, obviously this is a very easy denial. They're not normally this black and white. You might have a situation where the credit looks good, the rent payment looks good, the eviction looks good, and maybe you have a criminal history, 4 years ago, and it was for some kind of a minor offense. So we'll provide some additional screening for them, figure out what that criminal offense was, maybe get a letter of recommendation if they've completed rehab or, whatever the case is, and then make a determining factor from there. So that is a bad screening report, and then here's an example of a good screening report. So this is Miss Sally Appfolio. Again, we have their verified person, we have a good credit score, they're reporting no negative trade items, they're reporting no negative rental history, no evictions, no criminal history, and then just the rest of the details included in the report, information about their trade lines, etc. Now, importantly, it is possible that someone has had negative rental history and had been evicted, and it's not showing up in the reports. Unfortunately, not all property managers, not all landlords report their evictions to Experian Rent Bureau. I wish they all would, but not all of them do. So we are verifying their last 2 years of rental history to talk with those landlords and owners and make sure that they left on good standing and kind of see what those stories are. But not everything will show up in the reports. Now, in case you're wondering, the reports do cost money, but the tenants are paying, rather the applicants are paying to be screened up front. That's not something that you as the owners pay for. Okay, so there you have it. Quick little introduction to our tenant screening reports. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.